Okay, NPF, surprise little special for you. Obviously, Card God's not here and there's no news this week, although he has promised he's coming give us some news from Vegas. But no doubt all the members last night, although we had problems with the forum, may have been tuned in to Nuts TV and AWOP. And I'm proudest punch to have here with me is Mark Trett, the Coral British Masters sponsored 10k champion for next year. Thanks for coming in, Mark.
Cheers,
Top
Dave.
man.
Thank you very much.
Just a quick chat about yesterday and how are you feeling about it?
Over the moon. Hasn't really sunk in yet, to be honest.
So 10k, yeah?
A lot of money.
Who did you go to Blackpool with?
Travelled down with Daniel, people like that. Full tell it.
Daniel, Craig, whatever he's called.
Well, whatever people know him as.
Yeah. And when you got there, did you do any work on the other players that you were playing against?
Not too much. I'd done a little bit of research in terms of Hendon Mob pages to see which ones were the accomplished players, and I knew of a couple of them anyway, like Sir Chris Brammer and Tom MacDonald, obviously Steve Holden. So I kind of I knew half of the table already, and I'd done a little bit of research on the others, but I didn't do too much because, to be honest, I felt as if there was going to be a lot of gambling in the sit and go anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Gambling. There was there's some odds put up by someone. I think James Keys put a set of odds up, and then obviously Coral's put some odds up. What did you think of the odds when you saw them?
I was pretty happy. I mean, you probably know I backed myself. It was actually Daniel who told us about it. Daniel found it, mentioned it, and I thought it was a pretty good price, you know. So
you certainly wouldn't have got 10-1 off me in card, that's for sure. But I think there's a few lads had a few quid on you, so and I think James Key's about £800 down in the hole. So you know, there you go. And we don't know what Cobbles took, obviously. Getting on to the actual game, what did you actually think of the structure? Thinking about, you know, what was at stake there, 10k.
Well, you know, it was a 25-minute clock, 10k deep, but the fact that you know, 8 players are playing for 10 grand sponsorship for next year, I felt as if the structure maybe should have been a bit longer. You know, the blinds started 15-1. There was some big jumps in the blinds, and so the fact that it was a 25-minute clock as well, it really forced the action. So as I say, there was going to be a lot of, you know, going to have to take a lot of risks, and you know.
Well, I actually followed it obviously from the start all the way through with, I think there was about, God knows how many NPF was online. And we were just trying to create the atmosphere online. Did you feel any of the NPF there?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I could hear it in the background all the time. I mean, obviously there was a lot of camera crew around from AWOP, and you know, they were making constant references. And to be honest, I think you kind of got them on side, because by the time we went heads up, one of the lads was saying to us that basically everyone was kind of rooting for us. But I could definitely feel it. You know, I was getting constant messages from the crew, you know, with well wishes and stuff like that, and I knew they had a lot of support behind the lens. So great.
What I picked up as well was you didn't seem to have many hands early doors. You didn't seem to get involved. Obviously, it's a sit and go, and it's people playing in a certain strategy, certain way. The thing I can remember is after a slow start, to say like the fans probably, but you ended up putting it in with Jack 10.
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts with that? Because you obviously, the guy snap called you ace queen.
That's right. Well, I was getting to a point where my stack was starting to basically be, in comparison with the blinds, it was getting to around the 10 big blind mark, and you know, obviously, I mean, you know yourself how I play in my poker when I get to that, you know, that kind of stack size. So, you know, I didn't really like the raise fold it. So, and to be honest, it was the prettiest hand I'd seen. You know, for a long part of the day, so I just thought get it in. Obviously, you know, there's huge fold equity, and if I get locked up, I hope I'm live, which I was. And
you were certainly live, but his ace queen couldn't match housed up Jack 10.
That's right.
And down we went. You seem to go from strength to strength, then, and then you got yourself into a really strong position. Although Chris Brammer was, it seemed when it was four-handed, you and Chris Brammer had a lot of chips in play. Did you think Chris was obviously the main danger to you right from the start?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he was the bookies' favourite from the get-go. Very accomplished player, plays the Pro Tour, and you know, a really aggressive player. And I felt as if that type of sit and go and that type of structure would really suit his game. So I looked at him as a real threat. And when we both had the big stacks, and you know, there was the two little lads, were both, we're calling pretty light, trying to get rid of them, and we kept on doubling through, and
I must admit, I thought Chris was very unlucky. Not taking anything away from you, but he did seem to hit a couple of cooler hands where, he's pushing in with 9-9 and the guy's sitting with ace, and, it's just... but anyway, who cares about him? Well, we care about Mr. Trett from the MPF. And when you got the heads up, I mean, there was a few lads I was on MSN with, and we were surprised who you got no heads up with.
Yep.
No disrespect to the guy at all, but he did seem to be passing a lot of decent hands. He's showing aces when he got three-handed, and he's passing when people are shipping into him.
Yes.
So heads up, I think it was you had a slight chip lead.
No,
deficit. Slight
deficit.
Yeah. What was your thoughts then? Were you confident?
Yes. To be honest, I mean,
we were.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him bust Chris.
Right.
Chris had tried to take him out a few times and run into big hands, and he kind of, I don't know if he just got frustrated but when John Gardner, the lad I went heads up with, the Bristol champ, knocked Chris out, I mean, I knew by playing with him for the whole day that his shorthand game was quite weak. So I felt as if I could just really, heads up, I just felt like I could play positional poker against him, and I honestly didn't think I would have to have any big all-in confrontations. I thought I could maybe just chip up off him, but he actually started to spaz out a little bit heads up, and he got quite aggressive, but in a way, in the same respect, I found it quite easy to pick up tells on him and things like that. So, I was really happy to have him heads up, and I felt really confident going in. But still no guarantees. I mean, he had us 3-1 at one point.
He did,
in chips. So,
but I think the most important thing as well, I mean, in a sit and go, especially as a one-off, is some critical hands holding up. And no doubt you'll be playing 4-4 a lot, man.
I hate that hand, but it's one of them where I ended up calling the first 4-4. I was already invested. The kid should go the top and not a lot more. Obviously with the for the win mentality. I'm never folding, and just hoping he hasn't got an overpair really, and I'm not in really bad shape. So, and a couple of other times, I was pushing, just trying to pick the blinds up, and getting looked up, and they held all except one time when I doubled up, which was really such a decisive pot against Chris. Because I felt as if I won that flip, I was home and dry. But to double him up and make him so dangerous again, it really deflated us. But I don't like the hand, but it served us well yesterday, so I've got like it a bit more now.
Yeah, stuff. Not much more really. I mean, obviously everybody's asking. I don't know if you fully understand it either. It's been explained to you, but what does the package include now?
Right. Well, this is their Coral's first year supporting Gala, so things are still fairly new. What they're going to do is they are going to put us on the Gala tour. I don't know whether that's going to include the side events or not next year. But what they've said is that they're basically going to allow me to take a look at the other tours, i.e. the GUKPTs or any deep stacks that just don't, or basically anything I fancy, and just tell them what I'm interested in. So I've got a bit of flexibility there. They're also going to do something with us online. They want us to basically take some kind of interest in their card room and put some hours in on there.
See, that's totally different to what I thought the package was involved with it. I thought they would just put you into their tour games and that would really be it. So it's actually a much better package than I thought and others really.
Well, I mean the six legs of the Coral Gala British Masters, and if I'm only playing the main events, then that's only 3K. So ideally, if I get the chance, I'm going to try and not play the side events and just try and
the big ones.
Keep yeah.
Here's a one for you then. Obviously when you won the T side, you were 50% with your lad, your brother.
Yeah.
So does he get 50% of this package?
No. I mean, at the minute, he can't actually get in.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll sort something out. I mean, we've always done everything together in a poker sense, so we'll sort something out.
We'll close it down now. I mean, it's great for you to come in at such notice. And to be honest, another question I've been asked is, why didn't you apply for the APAT team?
To be honest with you, with us, I mean, I haven't been on the forum as much lately, and I missed the thread. If I'd been offered, I would have accepted, but because I never posted on the thread, I still probably assumed that I wasn't available.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone drops out.
I don't. Well, anyway, that's Mark Trett. He's coming dropping a hat, and he's told you a bit of tale about last night and how it was won, etc. So I hope you've enjoyed it. That's it from me. Card God's back in not next week, the week after, and we do hope to have some news from Card God from Vegas. So from Bannisters HQ, from me, Team Dob, and from Mark Trett, the British Coral Masters champion of champions, we'll say bye bye. Thank you very much.